Hello everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to the channel. My name is Luke. Today I'm going to be talking about Infinity Pool. This is the newest movie from Brandon Cronenberg. He wrote and directed this, and it stars Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth. Here we follow James and M as they are on an all-inclusive resort vacation. James is a published author, and he's looking for inspiration as he is in the process of writing his next book. While they're on this vacation, they end up meeting a couple of people, one of which is portrayed by Mia Goth, who invite them to basically hang out, and things just go pretty crazy after that. This was definitely my most anticipated film of this month. I remember seeing this trailer, I think it was December. This is a movie that is played at Sundance, which is currently wrapping up. But was kind of surprised to see that, this wasn't like a Sundance exclusive or anything, since this did drop here in January. If you are familiar with Cronenberg and films, you know that this is going to be pretty weird, pretty much a very strange experience. And I have to say, slightly let down with this one, as this feels a bit repetitive. We do get a lot of things in this that are not very new. It's really just the approach is somewhat new, but we'll get into that in just a second. So essentially what we have here is that James and his wife M are at this fictional island that has very, very specific rules about things. Essentially, when James and M are with these new people, these new quote-unquote friends, if you call it, as they're returning back to the resort, the car's headlights are malfunctioning. James is driving and ends up hitting a local, killing them. The rules at this island that they're at is basically death for death. If you kill someone, it is within their rights for the family to basically kill you. But the workarounds here is that for those that are extremely wealthy and have the money, they have the technology to essentially clone that person, basically make a doppelganger that can be their replacement. A few months ago, I watched the movie Duel, which I believe you can stream now on either Hulu or AMC or Shudder. It's on one or more of those platforms. Which, if you've seen Duel, it's a concept of cloning yourself as well, but it's a little bit different in that sense. If you're dying from like cancer, you could essentially clone yourself as a replacement, and then it has its own set of rules. So here, kind of somewhat similar story in a way, where you're just dealing with the extreme wealthy and what they'll do to basically continue living. And so, when I said earlier repetitive, we've gotten plenty of doppelganger movies. This is nothing new there. But the other side of this is you're dealing with essentially the extreme wealthy and kind of the addictions that they have, or the habits that they have, because you can see from the first moment that this happens, there's definitely some sort of emotional factor that the character James is feeling here, of the sense of potential immortality, or how did I just get away with this? And then things just from there just kind of spin out into a lot of crazy events, which essentially is going into this repetitive nature of, we're these people that have money. We'll just basically turn this island to our playground, do whatever we want, because we just won't die. But the layers within this are kind of fascinating, because you do get that moments of, is it actually the real person? Are they doing any switching? Because they go through the process of getting cloned, and then essentially they just wake up in a bed, but is it actually them? And these are moments I wish Brandon would have focused a little bit more on. We do get more in terms of like the events that these people are doing, a lot of the kill scenes. This is a very graphic movie, so if you've seen any of the other Cronenberg films, you kind of know what you're getting into. And I didn't find this to be as crazy as I've seen some other reviews stand out compared to some other films I've seen. You know, it's definitely graphic for sure, but nothing that really made me want to like look away from the screen or just anything like that. I thought a lot of the photosensitivity scenes, you know, felt like things I've seen before as well. So overall, I thought Infinity Pool had some very interesting ideas. I just didn't think everything was pieced together. There are moments that feel a bit rushed or uncertain of what to do with these characters. Where do they need to go? In terms of like the cinematography and the acting, I thought both of those were very well. Mia is definitely one of the more standout performances here. I did find her character, and then I think this was purposeful, but like very near the end, I was getting annoyed with these people just because of what they were doing. And though I do think that was on purpose, which I have to give a nod at the good acting there. A lot of the moments in terms of the cinematography and the settings and the vibes that you're getting felt like a mixture of Succession or The White Lotus from HBO. So that had me really intrigued. And the ending is something as well. It's like a bit of an open end type thing. I've got my thoughts on it. I won't go into it to keep this as spoiler free as possible. But yeah, like Infinity Pool, was looking forward to it. A little bit of a letdown. Kind of lower on my list right now. Will I revisit this one again? Maybe one more time. It's entertaining, but it lacks, I think, some depth and substance that it really needed to kind of pull everything together. But yeah, if you saw Infinity Pool, let me know what you thought. If you're a fan of Brandon Cronenberg, let me know what some of your favorite films are. I watched Possessor last year. It's one, I think I prefer Possessor over this. It's one I would definitely revisit before this one. But yeah, for Infinity Pool, I'm going to go right down the middle and give this a 5 out of 10. I think if you're just a fan of Cronenberg and the style of these films, I think you'd probably enjoy it. But for me, I thought the ideas were there. It lacked a little bit of depth, a little bit of structure to pull everything together. But the cinematography, the acting, that was really solid. Kept me entertained enough to keep watching. But I do think that the repetitive nature of this kind of brought it down. So going right down the middle, 5 out of 10. Let me know what your thoughts on this film are. Thank you so much for checking this out. I'll have more reviews very soon. Have a great weekend, everyone. Go watch movies. We'll see you next time.